right, Pickle, let's get to some headlines from across the state of Texas. Unfortunately, we have to start with some very sad news. And it came down late last week. This was that UT Permian Basin announced that their freshman defensive end, Luke Miller, passed away on Monday. Luke Miller was a star defensive end at Frisco Lone Star, was entering his freshman season there at UT Permian Basin. From what I understand, and from what some reports, there had been some talk from him on social media that he was dealing with some health issues, but the cause of death is still unknown. Very, very sad news. This was a first-team All-District pick last year. Signed his NLI to play for the Falcons this past year, or back on signing day. A terrible, terrible loss as Luke Miller has passed away. Was going to be a freshman there at UT Permian Basin. Certainly, we're thinking about him, the UT Permian Basin family, the Frisco Lone Star family. Very, very sad news there coming out of UT Permian Basin. A couple of other things that are interesting. Pickle. We had our final 2 Texas high school football coaching changes. Now,
that's crazy on July 15th.
There can still be some. Mm-hmm. To be clear,
it doesn't mean it's completely
all that means is that all of the UIL 11-man jobs have been filled. All of the vacancies have now been filled. The first one came down early last week, and that was that Killeen Chaparral. You may remember. Uh-oh, did you just lose me?
No.
Oh, good. Well, my mic pack just fell.
This is why we can't have nice things.
We're very back. Killeen Chaparral, you may remember that Alan Hare was leaving to go take over at Jarrell. He left in mid-June, and we were all like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Well, then on July 8th, Killeen Chaparral hired San Antonio Davenport offensive coordinator Tyrell McCray to be their next head coach. He was named to the position by their new athletic director, Matt Carroll. McCray is a Del Rio guy. He played ball at Angelo State, began coaching at Navarro College, has bounced around a little bit. He worked under Matt Carroll at San Antonio Roosevelt. That's kind of their connection there. But Tyrell McCray is going to be the next head coach at Killeen Chaparral. That was the second to last coaching vacancy. The final vacancy, Pickle, got filled on Wednesday, when San Angelo TLC hired former Austin High offensive coordinator Bradley O to be their next head coach. Bradley O is their next head coach. Jonah Masters left to go be an assistant at center point. Coach O is a native of Coppell. He played at Austin College as well, and a 2-time captain and Division III All-American there. He spent his time at Austin College in Sherman as an assistant. But he spent 1 year as Butler Community College as well. Bounced around a little bit. Now will become a head coach at San Angelo TLC, as Bradley O is the next head coach of San Angelo TLC, and that closes out coaching change season on July 10th. That is all the UIL 11-man vacancies filled. There may still be some 6-man vacancies. I need to look. I've been on vacation. I haven't checked before this show. But for now, all the UIL 11-man coaching changes, vacancies have been filled. And I can tell you, do you want to take a guess at how many?
415.
Well, way lower than that.
Okay.
211. 211, remember, that's only UIL 11-man.
Okay. Which
means that there's about 1,083 of those.
Yep.
So about 1/5 of the jobs turned over.
Wow.
Overall in 2023-24 coaching change season. So there you have it, the final coaching change there across the Texas high school football landscape. Okay, so media days are going on. Our friends Mike Craven and Mallory Hartley were in Las Vegas last week. Did they make it back?
They did.
How sure are you?
I've seen Mallory for a total of about 30 minutes in the past 2 weeks,
but
it has been post-Vegas.
Got it, okay. Did she survive?
She did. I haven't really had a chance to ask her about it, but she's breathing.
They went to Vegas for Big 12 Media Day. You can read all of our coverage on TexasFootball.com. Brett Yormark made some headlines out there kind of talking about the state of play, more or less intimated that they're open for business and that they are interested in continuing to be aggressive out there, which is certainly, I've said this before about Brett Yormark, say what you want about him. I don't think he's made all the right moves, But one of the things that he's done is he's changed their mindset from being reactive to being proactive. I think that's why they're in the position they are, where they're not, to be clear, the Big 12 is not on the same level as the Big 10 or the SEC. However, they are steady. And I don't think that there's any concern that that conference is going to fall apart, unlike, for example, the ACC, where if Florida State and Clemson were to leave, which has been widely rumored, they would be in deep, deep doo-doo. So it is a very, very interesting situation at the Big 12. You can read all of our Big 12 Media Day coverage on TXHSFootball.com, including some one-on-one interviews with, they got them with all four. Joey McGuire, Dave Aranda.
They didn't get Dave Aranda.
Dave Aranda.
There is, on the other side of that, though, there is a great thing on our Dave Campbell's TikTok that is Mallory asked all the Baylor players that were there to do their best Dave Aranda impression.
Well, that's better than interviewing Dave Aranda.
It is fantastic.
So make sure you go check out all of our content on TexasFootball.com. And then that leads us to today, where right now going on at this moment is SEC Media Days in Dallas. Where Texas and Oklahoma are making their SEC debut at SEC Media Day. It will be very interesting to see what comes out. Greg Sankey has already given his kind of state of the conference address. You should go and see Mike Craven's write-up. We've got team coverage there at SEC Media Day if you want to go check out what we've got cooking on TexasFootball.com. Media Days are good and cool. I don't know that you necessarily glean a lot from it. I think that it comes at a time when people are really hungry for football. And so that's why people like it's new content. I don't know if it necessarily moves the needle or you get a ton of breaking news out of it, but it is interesting, certainly. And it'll be interesting to hear what Mike Elko and Steve Sarkisian say, plus their players there at SEC Media Days in Dallas. So we will keep an eye on that and have you covered at TexasFootball.com. Finally, Pickle, today is a big day for a certain segment of nerds. Today is the release of College Football 2025, the first college football video game in, 11 years?
Yep.
I want to say.
2014 was the last
2014. So I think that came out in 2013, so at least 12 years. It has been a long time coming. They first announced this thing was going to happen back in 2021. I think February 2021 they announced that they were coming back with a college football video game. This, of course, it went away because of concerns about using player likenesses without paying them. NIL came along, EA Sports got in the NIL game and said, hey, we'll pay you to be able to use your likeness in the game. And so now players are getting a cut of it and being in the college football playoff game or the college football video game. A lot of buzz about it. Here's my hot take about it.
Okay, I'm interested to see what this is.
Are we prepared for a reality where this game is only pretty good? I think the bar has been set way too high, and I think the hype on this game is way too much right now. I think it's going to be a good game. I don't think it's going to be some sort of game-changing, transcendent game, and I think right now we've got a lot of member berries about it. Yeah. I think there's a certain segment of people. Quite frankly, it's men my age who remember playing the college football video games growing up, and they want to have that feeling again. And I just think there's a possibility that this game is it's pretty good, and people. My question for that in a situation like that is, are we going to be able to be honest about it? Because the marketing on this, I will tell you, the marketing on this game has been spectacular. Spectacular. No notes on that. I do wonder if there's going to be public pressure to overly praise this game. And in fact, it might just be it's a pretty good football game, and that's fine. Nothing wrong with that.
So my take on it is I still think that those of us, especially guys more along your age, but I also grew up playing the game. And I think that those who played it when it originally was intact and in its prime will thoroughly enjoy the game. I really do think that. I think that people younger than us that are coming into it going, oh, well, all I've heard is my dad and my uncle and my brother and my cousin talk about how great this game is. And it just kind of is a football game. It's not that big. So I do think that the nostalgia will play a huge role into it for those of us that grew up playing it. I don't think the newer generation is going to have the same peak, and it's going to kind of run its course, and then it'll be done.
I mean, they've done an excellent job marketing it. It's been an unbelievable. I also think that it's one of those things. This strikes me as one of those things that is way bigger online than it actually is in like the zeitgeist. Because like right now, I don't know about you, like my social media has just been like blowing up about this video game. And I think that there's a pretty decent chance that it's just like pretty good.
Yeah.
And certainly I do not think that it's going to be some sort of like seismic moment like in the cultural zeitgeist. Like, I think it's a cool deal and I'd like to play it, but like, I don't know. I worry that we've reached critical mass as far as, and also, I also recognize that by saying this, there's going to be people who are going to be very mad at me for saying that because we all want this game to be great. And I think there's just a possibility that it's pretty good, and I wonder if we're going to be able to be intellectually honest about it being pretty good if it is in fact. Maybe it's great. Maybe it's the greatest video game of all time.
Yeah. But
I also wonder that the hype is presently outweighing the bang. And I worry about that. But we'll see. I'm interested in playing as UTEP, as usual, or North Texas. My team on 2014, which 2013 was the last one I had, I would play as North Texas. And I would, and that was before they had Apogee, so I played at Fouts Field.
Oh, Lord.
And let me tell you,
that place
gross.
Gross
in the video game, too.
Yeah.
Like, they captured it, you know.
Could you tell how bad the press box was from the video game?
Yeah, it was. But I, of course, ran North Texas to multiple national championships.
As one does.
I really used the Texas pipeline to do that. Anyway, we've got a lot of stuff on TexasFootball.com about it because it's a good content play. So go to TexasFootball.com for all the things you want to hear about the video game. And then go play the video game. Or don't. I don't know if you're not into video games.